The transit platform hummed with the electromagnetic pulse of incoming mag trains, their sleek forms cutting through the Martian atmosphere at speeds that would liquefy unshielded passengers. Arya Chen stood at the edge of Platform 7, her neural interface syncing with the arrival times scrolling across her retinal display. Oscar Reeves waited beside her, his biometric scanner analyzing the crowd with mechanical precision. They were hunting. Not each other. Not anymore. 3 years ago, Arya had been a corporate enforcer for Helios Mining, tasked with eliminating industrial spies. Oscar had been her target, a data thief who'd stolen classified research on gravitational field manipulation. Their first encounter had ended with Arya in a medical pod and Oscar in maximum security detention. Now they were partners. "Contact in 90 seconds, Oscar murmured, his eyes tracking something only his augmented vision could perceive. "The Velcor delegation arrives on track 4. Arya's jaw tightened. The Velcor, apex predators from the Kepler 442 system, standing nearly 3 meters tall with exoskeletons harder than titanium and reflexes that operated in microseconds. They'd come to Mars under diplomatic protection, but intelligence suggested otherwise. The delegation leader, Vorthek, had been identified as a slaver, responsible for disappearing over 200 human colonists from the outer settlements. "Remember the gravity differential," Arya said, flexing her fingers. Beneath her synth skin gloves, microservos clicked into readiness. "Mars is 0.38 Earth standard. They're used to 1.6, which makes them 40% slower here," Oscar confirmed, "but still faster than baseline humans. Good thing I'm not baseline." The mag train materialized from the tunnel like a silver bullet, electromagnetic fields screaming as it decelerated. Arya felt the pull in her bones. Her skeletal reinforcements vibrated at frequencies most humans couldn't perceive. The modifications had cost her 3 years of salary and 6 months of agonizing integration surgery. Worth every credit. The doors hissed open. Passengers flooded out. Human colonists, European water breathers in environmental suits, even a Titan methane-adapted diplomat. And there, towering above the crowd, came Vorthek and his escorts. The Velcor moved like liquid violence, their chitinous plates reflecting the platform's neon advertisements. Vorthek's translator collar emitted guttural sounds that converted to clipped Martian standard. Inferior accommodations, inferior gravity, inferior species. Several humans nearby flinched and moved away. Arya stayed put. Oscar's hand twitched toward his concealed plasma pistol. Arya caught his wrist, barely perceptible. Not yet. They needed proof. Hard evidence of Vorthek's slaving operation, captured on reliable recording equipment, verified by multiple systems. Anything less, and the diplomatic corps would bury the accusation under kilometers of red tape. The Velcor delegation moved through the crowd like icebreakers through frozen seas, shoving, pushing, radiating menace. A young woman stumbled, nearly falling onto the electrified rails. Vorthek didn't even glance at her. Then he saw Arya. Perhaps it was the way she stood, weight-balanced, eyes calculating, completely unafraid. Perhaps his predator instincts recognized another apex predator. Whatever the reason, Vorthek changed trajectory, moving directly toward her. "Human female," his translator spat. "Move!" Arya didn't budge. "Public platform, public space, you move!" Oscar's hand was definitely on his weapon now, though he kept it concealed. Around them, the crowd created a widening circle, sensing violence like animals before an earthquake. Vorthek's facial plates rippled, the Velcor equivalent of a laugh. "Defiant. Good. You will fetch premium price in the outer markets." "There it is," Oscar whispered, his neural recorder capturing every word. Vorthek's massive hand shot out, grabbing Arya's shoulder. In Earth gravity, she would have been immobilized instantly. In Martian gravity, she had options. She didn't resist the push. Instead, she used the momentum, spinning with the force, allowing him to think he'd won. Vorthek shoved harder, trying to send her tumbling toward the platform edge. Arya's combat algorithms activated. Time seemed to dilate as her enhanced neural processing accelerated. She saw the trajectory, calculated the angles, measured Vorthek's center of mass against Mars's reduced gravity. Her leg swept out, hooking behind his ankle, a move that would barely inconvenience him on his homeworld. Here, it was devastating. Vorthek toppled backward, 3 meters of alien predator suddenly airborne. Arya pivoted, her reinforced hands catching his chest plates. The servos in her arms screamed as they amplified her strength by a factor of 12. She lifted, rotated, and threw. Vorthek sailed through the thin Martian atmosphere like a discarded toy, crashing into a waste recycling unit 15 meters away. The impact crumpled the unit's housing and triggered every proximity alarm on the platform. Silence fell. Even the mag train seemed to pause. The other Velcor froze, their threat assessments suddenly recalibrating. The human female they'd dismissed as prey had just treated their leader like luggage. Oscar stepped forward, his weapon now visible, his badge hologram projecting above his palm. Vorthek of the Velcor delegation, you are under arrest for attempted kidnapping, slavery conspiracy, and violation of the Interspecies Protection Act. By throwing the first violent contact, you've waived diplomatic immunity under Section 7 of the Mars Accord. Security drones descended from the ceiling. Their weapons trained on the delegation. Human officers in powered armor emerged from concealed positions. Arya walked to where Vorthek lay groaning among the recycling debris. She crouched, meeting his 6 eyes. On your world, your apex. Here, you're just another criminal who underestimated humanity. She stood, flexing her hands as the servos powered down. Her shoulder ached where he'd grabbed her. Even in Martian gravity, Velcor strength was formidable. But pain was data, and data kept you alive. Oscar joined her as the security team secured the Velcor. You enjoy that too much. Maybe. Arya watched the mag train departure board update. But someone needs to remind the galaxy that humans aren't prey anymore. We never were, Oscar said quietly. Arya smiled. No, we just needed them to figure it out. The next train arrived, and they boarded together, leaving behind a platform that would be discussing what they'd witnessed for months. In the grand scheme of galactic politics, it was a small moment, but small moments changed trajectories, and trajectories changed everything.